In this video, we will explain that how law of reverse effect works in love. Hi, I am Param.
And I am Ritu from twinflamescoach.com. We help twin flames in inner work and we create twin flame coaches. Stay tuned till the end of this video to know that how you can use the law of reverse effect to bring your reunion faster. A natural law of reverse effect exists in the energetic universe. The law of reverse effect is some hard energy to change. It is as automatic as gravity. Understanding how reverse effect works in our psyche can help us understand our own issues that are really getting in the way of achieving our goal of reuniting with our twin flame. In general, the law of reverse effect also leads to all our negative interactions with others.
Let's say that you want to work on yourself and not to think about your twin flame. How easy is it to follow? For most of us, it is only a matter of time before we give in and try to connect with them by calling or messaging them or seeing their Facebook profile or Instagram profiles. And this time we even spend more time on them than we were doing before we decided to stay away from them. It becomes too hard to hold out against this craving to connect with them. It is a similar scenario with trying to stop smoking. What happens when a smoker tries to quit smoking? The struggle gets bigger, the craving becomes unbearable. Addiction is strong energy in motion. Try to stop its motion and it will boomerang back at you with the full power of its forward motion, and that too in reverse. This is why it is so hard to stop any addiction. And know that one human being is biggest drug to the other human being. And we are talking about your twin flame, who is the most lovable person for you in the whole world.
Let's take example of a real twin flame couple, Tinku and Tina, to understand the law of reverse effect. If you want to know more about this couple, then you can see the video series whose link is in the cards above. Tinku and Tina had to stay away from each other due to third-party situation. Although they were physically separated and had no direct means of communication, but Tinku was still energetically connected with Tina. He was watching her online profiles on social media like Facebook, Instagram, and was also posting some posts that were meant for Tina on his WhatsApp status or on Facebook or Instagram. These posts were conveying a message that he still loves and cares for her. His posts were creating lots of emotional turmoil in Tina as well. This is called law of reverse effect, which means that the more Tinku was consciously trying to show his love to Tina, the more difficult it was becoming for them to reunite. To summarize law of reverse effect briefly, it means that the harder one consciously tries to do something, the more difficult it is to succeed.
So how Tinku overcame the law of reverse effect? When all of this was going on, Tinku took a reading from tarot card reader and he came to know that Tinku and Tina will reunite after 10 years. This was a shock for Tinku, who was hoping to reunite in couple of months. His spiritual master had already educated him that if Tinku is able to let go Tina in 3D physical world and focus his energy on his inner work, then it will lead to faster reunion. Astrology, tarot card reading and other kind of psychic readings read your current energy and then predict one of the possible futures. On the other hand, inner work changes our energy and thus can change our future. With all this knowledge, Tinku's intuition guided him to take a decision that he will not send his energy to Tina in the form of those social media posts or by any other means that will affect Tina in any way. After this decision, Tinku took another tarot card reading in couple of days, and this time tarot card reader could not get any date for reunion. Tinku understood from this event that by making a small change in his behavior and energy, he was able to change the outcome of tarot card reading and thus he can also change his future. So in a way, Tinku was able to understand the law of reverse effect.
We know that it is not easy to stop thinking about your twin flame. Tinku used his energy to learn inner work and spent his energy in doing his practice regularly. Know that it takes at least 21 days to replace a habit and it takes around 3 months to imbibe a new habit in your being. So, Tinku continued his practice and during that time, some stuff came up that pushed him towards contacting his twin flame. He moved through this resistance. Just trying harder to avoid twin flame without inner work will not help. Tinku stayed away from twin flame by transmuting his energy towards inner work and learning the higher spiritual sciences. There will always be resistance when you start to do something that you were not doing earlier. However, another law of physical universe shows us that once we get started and are in motion, then there are higher chances that we stay in that motion. So once Tinku put inner work his priority, the universe helped him to stay in motion. The real problem is that when we don't take the first step. Remember that taking first step is like winning half of the battle.
So how you can handle the twin flame journey? Awareness and acceptance is the first step. Inner work done by Tinku and guidance from his spiritual master gave him awareness to accept his current challenge. Certainly, understanding the law of reverse effect in the first place helped him to avoid struggle and frustration. When Tinku got prepared to take on twin flame inner work for reunion, it was something new for him. He accepted it with all its challenges, and this acceptance made the journey much easier for him to handle. His teacher told him that many times he will fall during healing process, but he healed it and got back up. Expecting a trigger and handling it is much easier than facing a trigger when you are totally unprepared for it. He took 2 steps forward happily by healing himself, and when the 1 step back occurred in form of worse trigger, he accepted it as the way things are and kept on moving ahead.
Another key is that Tinku made sure that he really wanted to unite with Tina despite the resistance from their previous partners. Once Tina came in his life, there was no going back. He understood that the attachments he had with his partner, children, and other family members are just an illusion, which are stopping him in moving ahead towards harmony and reunion with his twin. His desire was very strong, and this desire helped him to cut through the resistance that his attachments were creating for him. How much desire do you feel when you think about having a great life with your twin flame? If you don't want to do something, then you may avoid it and put it off forever. Tinku really wanted a certain outcome, and the universe then honored his intention and supported him, because universe also wanted that Tinku and all twin flames should get out of the illusion and move ahead on their divine purpose with their twin flame. So, making a firm decision to reunite with his twin flame helped him to move ahead. Just the act of choosing to have your twin flame in life will put you in the forward motion. The stronger the decision, the more the universe supports you and the less you will experience that backlash. Conversely, the less certain you are, the greater the resistance will be.
So how this inner work affected Tina? Tinku and Tina both were already suffering because of their attachments to others. Or we can also say that they were addicted to the presence of other humans in their lives. When a smoker, chronic overeater, or alcoholic finally comes to the point of certainty where he knows deep inside irrevocably that death will be the end product of this addiction, then he or she can change much easier. Similarly, as Tinku stopped sending energy of desperation to Tina and instead trained and raised himself to be a twin flame coach, then Tina finally came to the point of certainty where she knew deep inside irrevocably that separation and disharmony in this relationship will be the end product of her attachment to others. That was the moment that she decided to change. When she took such a deep decision that it affected her soul, she invoked a state of grace. A higher law took over, and suddenly she was able to walk away from a life of attachments, and then she never looked back. Many of us need the help of a higher power to do this. For a select few, it can happen from the realization and resulting decision alone. And for less extreme cases like Tinku, he is planning to do inner work in a systematic way like we teach to our students, and then sticking to that inner work was able to get him through the backlash of resistance easily. The slow, steady, persistent approach of a strong intention helped hold Tinku on course and moved him through the resistance much better, instead of the scenario where he was trying to force into reunion. And his non-awakened counterpart Tina was also awakened by the grace from higher powers when Tinku reached a certain stage in his spiritual growth.
So, what is meaning of let go? Tinku's life was also getting disturbed when struggling with separation and was sending his energy to Tina. He was not able to let go Tina. His spiritual master recommended to let go Tina for now and wait patiently. Tinku asked, "Is it alright to let go and not doing anything for Tina?" To this, his master replied that practicing patience is also a spiritual practice. And master did not recommend to do nothing. Instead, he recommended Tinku to keep on doing inner work and find the right way to unite with Tina. When Tinku had let go Tina, he automatically moved out of resistance and moved into the flow. As Tinku's peace was restored by staying away from Tina, he was able to concentrate more on his inner work and staying in the higher vibration. The more he stayed in higher vibration, the more faster he progressed on his inner work journey by learning and practicing new tools, and finally he was able to reduce the reunion time as predicted by a tarot card reader from 10 years to 2 years. So last but not the least, knowing when to let go and when to hang on is a very valuable key. Trying to rigidly control is never the answer. Letting go is not giving up or not doing anything or just sitting idle. Letting go is an art and a spiritual skill. You just have to be smarter than the law of reverse effect.
We hope that you have got some clarity from this video about law of reverse effect. If you have any question or comments, then you can leave them in the comment section. You can join our Telegram channel to avail notification about free meditation session and upcoming Twin Flame Inner Work program or Chakra Balancing program.
Link of our Telegram channel and link of other programs can be found in the description below. To watch the upcoming videos, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we would like to make it clear the inner work which everybody is doing is different from the Twin Flame Inner Work program which we are conducting.
Thank you so much for watching, and we see you
In the next video.
next video.